how we have this for us.
Okay.
You know how I do.
Yes, sir.
So we are recording, so don't stress. But these are the chat boards. This is kind of how you start just bare basic uh involvement with figuring out kind of the flow of how things go. Because
Right.
this morning, if you look on StockTwits, which is actually the worst site that I use. Okay. This one,
Okay.
this one's all about just like following kind of retail hype. But if you notice up here, there's only 55,000 people that follow this page.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we're talking about a very small dynamic in the stock world. Now, if you look at, so, one of the big plays, well, I mean, let's do this. So, uh, what is Bitcoin? You notice something different?
The number changed. It's 344,000 now.
That's what I'm saying. So, when you talk about volatility of a stock and, the chatter, people that talk on here, it's 350,000 people, which have,
Right.
most of the time what you do is anybody that's online, they have a market of about 60 people. Like
Okay.
I reach about 60 people on average.
Gotcha.
So, my three people, they tell three people each. You know how the saying goes, right? Down the line, right?
Yes, sir.
So, like, I share most of my information with you and John and my wife.
Right.
So, there's four people alone. And then my wife goes to work, does the same thing. So, 350,000 people is a lot of people to be following a stock on on just a free chat. So,
Yeah.
if you see a drastic influx, like if this number goes from 55 to like 75,000 in like, I've seen it do that in a week,
Hmm.
then that's when you start kind of paying more attention to the stock. So like
Okay.
I have stocks in here. So let's look at TGII. So TGII has 4,500 people on here, right?
Okay.
When I did DPWW, so back when I don't know if I ever told you about that play, but DPWW, there wasn't even a chat board. Like when you went on here to look for a
Uh-huh.
chat board, it was non-existent. So
Gotcha.
those stocks are the ones that are even more riskier because I mean, people that don't know about them don't know about them.
Right.
So what you don't know is what you don't know. I mean,
Correct.
how do you find it out if nobody knows
Yeah.
about it? So
Right.
it comes out in the news, and then when it comes out in the news, you are too late to get any kind of play unless it's a huge play. Like,
Okay.
there's been startups that, the first couple years, couple thousand people were following it, and then next thing you know, it blows up. Bitcoin was one of them.
Right.
Tesla, took about what, 10 years.
Yeah,
Am-
I'll say
Am-
evolution.
Amazon, about 2.5 years. But
Hmm.
I want you to take a look at something because, in the chat boards, go, buddy, go. Dog's trying to like cuddle into my legs. In the chat boards, you're going to find people that in their market, they have people that are investors or whatever. So if you
Okay.
look, this is one of the chats that I'm a part of. You look at Humble.
Okay.
So BW Investment Group, they've been very honest. They have 2,500 clients that are going to be required to use Humble Pay once everything launches. It's a
Okay.
business that, they have 2,500 clients. So if you can put a financial on 2,500 clients for financial services monthly on an annual scale, that's a pretty good chunk of business to say, hey, I'm just getting right off the bat.
Exactly.
So, and then they talked about their investment. So, I mean, today I watched our first stock hit the NASDAQ without much warning. And if you looked at MMEDF, it went up it was in the levels where Humble was at. And then it dropped down because everybody started doubting it. And then all of a sudden, now they're listed on NASDAQ.
Yeah.
And I mean, it went from $2.30 something cents to $3 and something. Then it went from $3.45 to $4.60, got listed, and now today it's at $5.80. So,
oh wow.
And this one, this play, MMEDF. Let's look it up. So, it's MMED. It's got 4,000 followers.
Okay.
So understand, like, a lot of this stuff, it's literally just you're siphoning the bullshit.
Okay.
So like I do research. That's what I call it. I do research twice a day.
Right.
First thing in the morning, just to kind of get a feel for, how the day is going to go, or, how my long-term play, like Humble. I mean, honestly, people ask me all the time. I don't really look at it. So
yeah,
I follow the percentages. I understand how much my portfolio is, getting, declined because I watch it. But
yeah,
I mean, I made that decision in November, and then I made that decision again in March to buy more.
right.
I mean, nothing anybody says is really going to, I mean, I might buy more. I have 25 grand clearing in a couple of days. If the price continues down and it goes under $1, my average is 4 cents.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they would have to really push this fucking thing down. Like, and I have 108,000 shares. So, I mean, I have all the more to gain. This thing goes listed to NASDAQ and goes to $6.
Yeah. I'm waving at everybody.
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Come on. Stop it. But yeah, so that's just the name of the game. I mean, I'm not here to rub it in anybody's face, but I personally am a long-term investor, especially in Humble. Humble.
Right.
I mean, you just look at everything involved. Look at Amazon, right? Everybody talks about Amazon. Amazon's a big ticket, right?
Yeah.
But Amazon got beat down for a year and a half.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, it went to $100, and then it went all the way down to $6. And then, like, I mean, there was an interview with Jeff Bezos, and I just, like, I see Brian, the CEO of Humble. I see him. Here, let me stop this so you can see my expression. But I see him, like, doing the same interview a couple years from now, just saying, like, hey, I was watching the stock price kind of do this, as the financials were kind of doing this.
Yeah.
And he's like, Jeff Bezos said, I'm not going to give somebody a guilt trip for selling the shares. If they want to, it's their choice if they want to buy into the company or not. He's like, it's my job to deliver on my commitment to the company. He's like, and I was delivering. They just, there was a bunch of articles that came out bashing Amazon. Oh, it's just this book. They're just selling books online, And look at that motherfucker now.
Listen, he got grocery stores and all. Like,
okay, listen to me for a second. Okay, just on a big scale. Okay, I know this is, there's a lot of books out there that'll teach you mindset, but this is the hardest thing to learn. Okay. You don't think about today. Today doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Okay. With investments, it's 10 years from now. What you have to do is you have to figure out where your feeling is going to lie. Am I going to be the one? And it's every stock. Every stock, if you put, research into it, if you're putting your work in, and really researching a company and based off certain financials, doing consistent plays, right?
Yeah.
10 years from now, you have a very good possibility of having like literal fuck you money.
Yeah.
And that's not like nobody's going to bullshit you on that one. If you put the
Right.
right plays in there and you allow these companies to grow like they're going, the newest, the newest age of human race is artificial intelligence,
Uh-huh.
financial technology, fintech,
Uh-huh. Right.
and electric vehicles.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about that's going to change everything and like clean, green energy. I mean, there's a bunch
Mhm.
of them, you know, and
Right.
you can get into medical marijuana because medical marijuana is going to be really big. But
Right.
pick one avenue to go, and then your job as an investor is to be an expert at that.
Okay.
Read as much as you can about fintech. Read as much as you can about AI.
Yeah.
Tell as many people around you about Humble Pay. Say, hey, look, peer to peer is coming out soon. You're going to be able to transfer money overseas for fractional pennies, and it'll be instant transfers.
Yeah.
That's a global scale, and they get and companies like Humble, companies like MMED. You know, these
Mhm.
are companies that don't have a lot of capital to do a lot of
Right.
marketing. So when those companies, those small companies,
Mhm.
start doing big things, right? Who do you think is gonna to what is it benefit the least from that?
It's gonna be the motherfuckers that don't have it.
The big money. So what do you think big money does?
They invest in everything.
No, they pump money into bashing.
Uh,
And then companies like Citadel and Jan and all these big name companies that have billions of dollars. When Humble was bringing out big news, what do you think follows? PayPal,
yeah. Yeah.
Venmo, Visa, MasterCard, right? It's just like
Yeah.
McDonald's. McDonald's is
Right.
bringing out shit. Burger King and Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
has the best sandwiches. Nah,
Yeah.
Popeyes, right? Nah,
Yeah.
McDonald's. What's the next one,
Yeah.
right? It's just a fad. So you have to
You got
so investing is about following the fad. And
okay.
right now, NFTs, crypto, I mean, you're talking about big things changing in these markets. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking Bitcoin is going to be 100K in 10 years.
Yeah.
And Digibyte will be $100 in like 5 years.
Yeah.
And investors, people that saw that investment right now, I took $5,000 that I don't need, right?
Right.
Shoved it into Digibyte. I have 750,000 shares of it at fractional pennies. It's on this little USB drive in my safe that says do not throw away retirement.
Yeah.
And that's just, no, listen, that's just one play.
Yeah.
When people talk about a hustle, you hustle and you keep
Right.
hustling. So, like,
Right.
there's no play that's going to make me retire my other plays.
Right.
That's that investor mindset. Changing it from that, hey, I'm just going to pay my bills today.
Right.
Honestly, I want to get to the point I ain't gonna need credit in 5 years, so who gives a fuck? Like,
Right.
I could let my
Yeah.
credit go. I mean, if I had a lot of bills and I was trying to gain capital to invest in myself, man,
Right.
I would pump all the money in, take my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. Right.
But I can't live like that. I got a family, that kind of thing, right?
Exactly. I
So I got
understand. But
responsibilities.
right. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
It's just
Definitely.
it's just adapting the mindset
Yeah.
because there's gonna be a lot of doubt out there. I mean, I mean, let's go. I mean, let me show you. Let's go. Let's go to Humble. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
hold on. You see it?
Yeah.
So let's go. I mean, fair value for this shit stock is 3 cents a share. Well, I guess I'll be down a penny then.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm going to end in green. Buy more, you bastards. Okay,
That's
that that's who I want to take my advice from.
right.
Sounds like a very reasonable guy I should buy right now, right?
You're right.
It's just, like I said, you have to find the trouble is finding your market. Okay.
Okay.
You find the people that are consistently, positivity, or say they have the same adapted mindset that you do.
Hmm.
And then you continue to grow each other in different areas. Like if your big thing is you want to invest in AI stock, okay?
Right.
Because AI return of investment, AI is through the roof. I
Yeah.
mean, cloud-based services, techno, I mean, all that craziness. I mean, you could see a stock jump from $1 to $300 in like a week. I mean,
Yeah.
I watched I think it was
Mhm.
Twilio
Yeah.
last year. It
Yeah.
went from what, $15 to like $285 in a month.
Yeah.
They were selling cloud-based services to fucking everybody. Like
Yep.
everybody.
That's real.
So,
I was watching I saw that with Salesforce and then is it
yeah,
Nvidia?
yeah.
Yeah. Because
So
once everybody was staying home, it took straight off.
it's just so you have to figure out what your strategy is going to be, because my strategy is not the same strategy that my buddy GJ does.
Right.
So my strategy is more, I hold stocks. I buy stocks early. I mean, I've seen stocks go up to $10 and go all the way down to 60 cents. And I
Right.
and I didn't sell. I'm just not that type of stock trader.
Yes.
I enjoy the hold and I don't want to say the stress of it, but I mean, I go on Stock Twits in the morning and I try to give people positive feedback and say, "Hey, look guys, if you're an investor, this is what it takes to be an investor. Hold your shares."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like hold the line.
Right.
Now, if you don't want to be an investor, sell your shares. But I mean, not everybody, it's
Yeah.
not for everybody. Like if I wanted to buy in at 30 cents and sell at $7 and make a boatload of money and then pay the government 50% of it, okay. I don't
Yeah.
want to do that.
Right.
I want to hold so I pay the government 20% of it,
Hmm.
and I can, eventually whoever's in tell the US to kiss it.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
Europe for 8 months
Yeah.
with my family. Like I'm not even talking small scale. I'm talking just there's no limit to the possibility of doing any of this kind of stuff. So,
Right.
and part of this is adapting the way you think. So,
Yeah.
I recommend getting these. I recommend like being in these when it's good for your life, because being an investor and being a trader, you also, you adapt your life now to fit the needs of your trading, but you
Right.
also adapt your trading to fit the needs of your life.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out, hey, can I give the time in the morning? Can I give the time at night? Is it afternoon? Is it, lunchtime? Whatever the case might be. And then just be consistent across the board.
Yeah.
So unless there's like a big day coming where you're going to get some incredibly bad news, put some stop losses on there. So like,
Okay.
people say this all the time, but once you get to the return of investment that you want, there's nothing wrong with putting a stop loss on.
Okay.
But it's after the company has proven historicals. Like Like, okay, I'm saying, say Apple. Okay,
Mm.
let's look up Apple stock. What's Apple at? $300?
Let's see.
No, that's Apple Hospitality. What the hell is that?
They actually 134.
I think they just did a reverse split.
Okay.
So they actually, well, they did a uh, like they like it that retail investors are able to invest in their stock.
Okay.
Companies like Amazon, Jeff Bezos and all them, he didn't want
Mhm.
to reverse split because, or however you do it, he didn't want to do that
Mhm.
because he wanted to only attract big investors.
Right.
So it's just different plays. But say Apple, right?
Right.
Say say you've held this stock for 5 years, okay?
Hmm.
And you're like, the only way I'd ever sell it is if it say it goes up to $1.40 and then goes down to like $1.30 and keeps on going up and down, up and down, up and down all year, right?
Right.
You can set a stop loss on it for say $128
Okay.
or $125. Says if this stock ever they ever get bad financials, if they ever, if something ever happens, right? And this stock just plunges, then it'll sell a percentage or all of your stock or however you want to do it.
Right.
That's when stop loss is okay. I don't
Gotcha.
rec- I don't recommend say right here, I don't recommend putting a stop loss there on any of this. Look, this is when Humble did a reverse split.
Okay.
Do this right here, and it shot up to $7.72, right?
Right.
And then nobody could touch their shares. So it started
Mm.
trickling down, right? Everybody got
Okay.
upset, whatever the case might be. What happened was, as soon as people were able to touch their shares, okay, so people still were not able to touch their shares all the way through these days. This
Okay.
whole this whole time right here, okay? People
Right.
were buying, stock was going up, whatever, right? People were
Right.
finally able to touch their shares. Look at this. Okay?
Mm. It dropped
Massive,
off.
massive sell off. But this sell off right here should have happened right here.
Right.
And we're as an investor, I already knew that.
Yeah.
You can't have this with no news without having the equal drop.
Exactly.
So everybody that invested in this, we were surprised at it going to $6 again. Now
Hmm.
it wasn't going to set me to sell it because
Right.
I've already thought in my mind I'm I got a $97.99. Okay,
Hmm.
that is my sell limit for 40% of my shares.
Okay.
Just so you know,
Okay.
there's a lot of other people that agree with my thinking here.
Yeah. Of course.
Catch everybody before $100, right? Kind of
Yeah.
smart, kind of not, and it's fintech. So their financials come out in June, and they got, I don't know, 100,000 subscribers to ETX, and they sold 300 billion in
Hmm.
NFTs,
Right.
resulting in a, I don't know, $200 million, you know, revenue stream.
Hmm.
Not to mention the fact that they're about to do peer-to-peer transfer and merchants are already taking payments.
Yeah. And oh man, you know what? Now that you think about it, because a couple years ago, I went to I was actually going to work for fintech, and they do like so if they on the back end and them partner with Humble, that's going to take off because now all the merchants are going to be using their stuff.
Well, let me clarify. Fintech is the industry.
Yeah.
So fintech is financial technology.
Right.
So Humble is in the fintech industry.
Right.
There's probably a company out there called fintech, but for these purposes, this is a fintech company, just
Yeah.
like a lot of other fintech companies. Like, I mean, it's just anything financial in the digital market. So, I mean, PayPal, Venmo, these are all really
Right.
big fintech companies.
Yeah. And that's what this company does. They did like the digital payments thing, but they were doing it business to business.
Okay.
And it was like one of the things the guy was telling me when you go to the say for example, you go to Applebee's ordered so much alcohol and this, that, and the third. Well, instead of them giving me a check, they run it through their little electronic payment system like Cash App, PayPal type deal, and the money goes through. And so the guy was like, when he go to they go to Walmart twice a week, and Walmart give him like a $2 million check twice a week, and it goes right through. So
Hmm.
it was like a, and the place was here, is right across from the Bucks facility. But that was like 2 3 years ago, and the guy was like, we got some big plays coming, because what's happening is they're running up capital, but they're trying to wait to the cannabis. They're trying to find out what the regulations as far as that weed, because they're gonna put it together, and then you can be able to buy cannabis with this. And
Well,
that was a couple of years.
they're trying to do cannabis delivery through payments, electronic payments on the
Yeah,
blockchain. So like
yeah,
there's a lot of things changing about our world, that, the legalization of marijuana, digital assets being a thing.
mm-hmm,
A lot of these big middlemen are starting to get weaned out of their jobs. I mean, big
right,
banks. I mean, banks are soon. Currency is not going to play a effect in.
right,
Well, there's not going to be a current. It's going to be a digital currency, crypto.
exactly, right,
So, I mean, if you're not thinking about 10 years, then, I mean, you're doing it wrong. So Humble, like I said, it could go down to 30 cents. It won't change my mind. I'll probably buy a crap ton of it.
right. And
I mean,
that's
if
the
it goes
thing.
to 30 cents, I mean, it would take my average to, I don't know, 14 cents if I bought
Right.
50,000 shares, which would cost me dirt nothing. But
Yeah.
it's that play. If I see something coming,
Uh-huh.
I buy. Now,
Okay.
HBRM, there's another one. Okay. You can see where this little red mark right here, this is where I charted it to be. Okay. Like financially, the way the CEO responds, the way the market feels about the stock. Okay.
Uh-huh.
These are like little things that I do. But right here about, I don't know, 0.0034. Do you see that, or is it too small?
I could see it. That's why I had to pick up the phone to bring it closer to me so I could see it. There it is.
So
That's a better.
yeah, 0.0034 right here. So this red line is where I feel it should be.
Right.
See how it had its little bump.
Uh-huh.
So this little bump right here says I'm here.
Okay.
If I can give you anything about stocks, right? I mean, look at Viper. I love Viper. All right, it's right underneath of it. Let's do a 180 day. Okay. You look right here. Let's do 15. Hold on a second.
Hmm.
No, it's before that. Do you see like so with Viper, you got nothing, right?
Right.
Little here.
Mhm.
This is if you notice, this is where I started charting it. So
Okay.
I either got it out of one of the chat rooms. Uh, somebody else had mentioned something. So you can do scans on Ameritrade that I can show you how to do as well.
Okay.
So you can watch the volume versus the float, which are two things that I look for.
Okay.
But if you look right here, here's that bump, little bump, and
Mhm.
sell off. Okay,
Right.
it's just a little one. So over here, it's right here.
Yeah.
It just says
Okay.
it's something, some kind of news came out where like CEO setting up a Twitter account,
Okay.
right? Could be some. I mean, could be something effing stupid, right?
Right.
But the hell is that? I don't know. Yeah, what are you doing here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Freaking, do you hear that? The video just came on for something on Stock Twits.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, just started playing in my ear. It was like today's market, like screaming. I was like, what the hell? All right, so, but that's just the bare bones. Like
Okay.
if you look at charting, I mean that's what you're looking at, and then
Okay.
then you go to chart, and I mean I use I call it the fib chart. Right here.
Okay.
Right here. Fibonacci retracement chart.
Okay.
And if you want me to do it, so here I'll do HRBM. Okay. Oh no, HB.
RM.
Yep. Okay, so if I was charting HBRM, okay, I would find this low, but it's not the lowest point. Okay. This is when HBRM was getting a little bit of attention. Okay.
Okay.
I don't ever chart it from there because I give them a little bit of cushion. Okay.
Mhm.
So they got some attention. This is not the base. I would consider this the base. Okay.
Right.
So what you do is you take the base, you add your drawing, you get the fib. Okay. That's the base. Then I always take it right above the height. So the height was about 0.0074. I'm going to put it at about 8. Okay.
Right.
This is where you can kind of tell regression numbers. So
Okay.
then you can tell, I don't know, you can start paying attention to the way the chart moves. Okay. If a stock regresses, like this one regressed, I mean, it went up to there and down pretty much 90%. Okay.
Yeah.
So 90% of it got pushed, right? But if you look, let's do so 1.8, okay, was about here, right?
Mhm.
What happened on 1.8?
It fell off.
Watch. So HBRM, therapeutic company and provider of proprietary all botanical medicinal products and interactive advanced content targeting dermatological issues such as acne and rosacea and other health and wellness concerns, is happy to provide a shareholders update letter from Dr. Agnes, whoever, CEO, right?
Right.
So they go on to talk about some of the new products, how advanced things are.
Mhm.
Why would that create a sell-off?
Because potentially you might have some investors that don't want to, that may feel like that other market might be risky.
There's no financials.
No financials. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying don't be sorry. I'm telling you
All right.
from a straight answer. This news There's no financials. There's
It's
nothing.
just news.
There's nothing financial about it. It's telling everybody, hey, look, we've been doing our jobs, which is really crazy because there's so much doubt out there that
Right.
you can't just be on the market and be held to a standard,
Right.
because there's so many companies that are, not doing what they're supposed to be doing behind the scenes, being fraudulent, running up share prices, doing insider trading, trying to screw over share. I mean, there's so much going on that you
Right.
can't just have an honest company out there that just, hey, we're going to do this, and then it happens.
Mm.
But also, too, every industry has a timeline.
Okay.
This is where education comes into play. So when you're looking at big industry, fintech, AI, cloud, digital, those things are there are things that can roll out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
something just started, and you have access to do this, right? Now, there's a lot of startup work that's involved in that. But when we're talking about shareholders, investors, that's what you're waiting for. You're saying that, hey, I'm going to give my money to a company for an idea. And then hopefully over time, behind the scenes, they're killing it.
Yeah.
And then they just come out with the news of, I mean, it's the same with pharmaceutical companies.
Mhm.
There'll be stock prices that'll plunge because they didn't do so good in their last testing of their cancer drug or whatever.
Mhm.
It'll plunge $10. Behind the scenes, they're, hey, get your shit together.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, 2 months from now, they release news of, oh, second batch approved by the FDA, and then the share stock price goes up $100.
Yeah.
So the people that sat there understood what was happening, and then watched it decline, and maybe at the bottom where they figured out where the bottom was, they put a buy order in for another 100,000 shares, shoots up $100. Now they're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
like I said, the charting, all this, I mean, this is just stuff that, like, ultimately, you know, like, it can show you, prove to you that a company's good. If you
Right.
watch for the pop, I mean, Ipsy, let me put Ipsy on here real quick.
Okay.
Look at Ipsy. Look at Ipsy. Doesn't this chart look really familiar? Like this whole, like, nothing, holy
Yeah.
shit, sell off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
What does Ipsy do? Ipsy's a payment processor. It's kind of like Humble.
Right.
I don't have a huge, buy-in, but I also, so I didn't buy before the pop. I bought right here.
Because of the next wave.
Yeah, 8 cents. I paid 8 cents for it, and all I'm waiting for is for it to break this number.
Yeah.
So this one is like more of a short-term play, right?
Okay.
Let me stop. It's like more of a short-term play where I buy 100,000 shares at 8 cents and I sell it for 40 cents.
Yeah.
And I still make, tens of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
And then I take that money and I do it again and again and again. And then what happens is those plays end up funding my Humble account,
Gotcha.
or like my Humble shares, or
Yeah.
so like HBRM. HBRM has been, I mean, beaten down. They're talking about bringing out a platform for, acne and bio, and then Humble's doing all this craziness. What if they partner? Holy shit, right?
Yeah.
Holy God. But that's the I didn't get into investing to flip it for $100 and oh yeah, I was in GameStop.
Yeah. No, no, no.
No, I got into investing to take money that I don't need right now, put it so I can grow. Like I'm not talking 100%. I'm talking 3,000% ROI. That is
Right.
that is that is my goal with every single company that I buy.
Right.
Now, some companies, now the long-term ones, Humble, I I expect Humble to go through the roof. Like Humble is going to be the one that people talk about, like people are world famous for. Like you bought Humble at what? I bought
Yeah.
Humble at under a penny.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My first buy was 0.0093.
Wow. Yeah.
So if you look, I mean, if you look at if we could look at the TSNP chart, I wish it would pop up. Probably won't because it's no longer listed. Yeah, it's gone. TSNP chart in November looked just like IPSI,
Okay.
like just like it, just like Humble. I mean, it was the start, it was the start to Humble, but it was just having faith that the people, Brian and George Sharp and all them, they were going to do the things that they said they were going to do.
Correct.
Otherwise, I would have sold a long time ago. But I mean, they're talking about Brian, Foot being the father of blockchain. Like, and blockchain is like the newest, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And NFTs, I mean, I don't know how much fees are going to be involved in selling NFTs online, but it, I mean, the Dallas, what is it?
The Mavericks.
The Mavericks are accepting Humble Pay
Yeah.
for sure. They're probably Tickery is going to be all Humble Pay.
Okay.
Like it's going to be mandatory to download Humble Pay to go to a concert or a, a sporting event in the next 2 to 5.
Yeah. Because if you really think about it, like with the whole COVID, everything is going contactless. Because if we supposed to be social distancing, now we can't have contact. So I can pay you. Man, okay.
I mean, I'm not an incredibly smart guy,
Yeah.
but
But I
I can
mean, it,
I can see how so people anybody that's a smart investor, anybody that's a smart at finances, whatever, they all started with understanding their life. So, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all these big name people, they
right.
talk about you have to see where your life is going
Exactly.
and then invest in it.
Right.
That's why my biggest thing is invest in yourself.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Pay yourself first. You. Because ultimately, this is what you're doing. You're investing in your choices.
Correct.
That's what investing does. It gives you the freedom to make your own choices.
Yeah.
And if you make a bad choice, I mean, there's really no bad choice. Because honestly, the way that I invest, I only spend maximum on most plays about $6,000.
Okay.
But last year, I wouldn't spend over $400.
Right.
When I bought when I bought 250,000 shares of TSNP at fractional pennies, I spent 23.25.
Wow.
I spent $2,000. So, I mean, you're talking about, and then went up, dropped. I bought in the 7 range, like
Right.
8-cent range,
Uh-huh.
and then my average is about, I'm sitting about 4. I think it's about 4 cents now.
Okay.
Now my son's average is about $2.22
Oh wow.
because I set up his account later. And
Down
then I
the
was like, I
okay.
want to get into Humble, and it went down, and then I watched it decline, and then it started going up, and I was like,
Right.
and then it went back down, and then I put it in there. So,
Yeah.
but it's just something. I mean, I've seen crazier things happen in this world, but ultimately, crypto, fintech, all those things are going to be big, and everybody that's big now is talking about them. So all the new name, all the new companies that are up and coming right now are going to be the new big names.
Uh-huh.
And all I want to do is catch one.
Gotcha. That's all it takes is just one.
$200 at fractional pennies. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do this again. So is it 200?
You
Yep. So $200 at 0.0001 will give you 2 million shares of any company. Okay.
okay. Okay.
So I'm going to share this real quick. This is ultimately this is what I do. Okay.
Okay.
And I do this very consistently. And I do it with right now I do it about 10 companies a month.
Okay.
So I don't use any of my money. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I take one of the bigger plays,
Uh-huh.
I buy in, I wait for it to pop, and I always have, I don't know, I have about 37,000 buying power in my account right now.
Okay.
Like you always want to keep, like, if Humble were to, do one of these numbers
Yeah.
and I still have my faith,
Uh-huh.
I'm buying.
Right.
I mean, or I'll
Right.
watch it base, see if it's gonna jump, put a buy in and help it go up. They call it slap the ass.
Okay. A
So
little motivation.
yeah, I mean if I could, someone can, if it goes down to 80 cents and I can buy 10,000 shares and try
Yeah.
to force this price up a little bit, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Or
Of
if I have
course.
some serious buying power and say it's going down, I don't know, say the stock jumps to 10 cents and then it declines to a cent
Uh-huh.
and I want to go real big. I mean, you can buy a million shares at a cent.
Yeah.
I have 6 million shares of HBRM. Six.
Man. Okay.
But I'm saying it's not, I don't have a lot of money invested.
Right. But
And
it's
people are
just
like, oh man, I got 6 million shares. But they said last year they paid all their employees in shares. The only way the employees get paid is if the shares reach 30 cents.
yeah.
I got a sell order in for 27 cents. I
okay.
I don't mind waiting for 3 years. Like I'll wait 5 years. I paid
Right.
$5,000 for those shares.
Exactly.
Like I
So
said
I
it
know
should. Okay.
the ROI. Yeah. Got you. Okay.
Can you see me or do you see my screen?
I can see you both.
Oh, you can see me in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait. So I mean, what am I saying? Oh, so if you look at Humble.
Mhm.
This right here is September. Uh, I'm gonna try to figure out this line. Oh man. So I mean, you're talking about zero. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
Like under zero for this one. And it might be because it's Humble and not, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like they didn't transfer over the TSNP historicals, so it's actually
Oh,
not showing correctly.
okay.
But at September timeframe of last year, TSNP, there was nothing. I mean, it was fractional pennies. There's a guy that spent 60,000 on TSNP shares. I know you heard me talking about this, but
Yeah,
he spent 60K in November and then cashed out in February at 5.6 million.
man.
If only I had put 60K in November, you know what I'm saying?
You're right.
I'd have cashed it. Boom. Sell limit.
Yeah,
But no, it's not those aren't that's not the type of play. Like that's not how I am.
right.
I can't just dump 60,000 into a company and
Yeah,
especially
I hope your fingers crossed.
yeah, especially an OTC stock. Like I'm sorry, there's a lot of things in my life that I'm proud of,
Yeah,
but if a company tanks and I lose 60K, I like to spread it out a little bit,
right,
and then they kind of help each other as long as I don't it. Like sometimes I've made some pretty bad plays. I mean, if
right.
you hold on a second, let me pull this up. I still have. I mean, I'm bagging. Uh, PLYZ is probably my one that I'm really mad at. So
Okay, because it.
PLYZ, I have 2.5 million shares of that one,
Mm,
and it's very. I mean, point zero zero uh, 02 is what my average is.
oh
And it's
man.
at
Okay.
11. So I've made decent money,
Right.
but I mean, it went up. It went up. And it was like, I don't know, I was up like 40K and then I didn't sell. And now the news that came out was apparently fake. And like, I don't know, there was like actual news on like a news business channel about the stock getting into terms with Microsoft. And
Yeah.
that thing shot up to, I don't know. I think it almost went to a penny. And
Oh
I would have made like $100,000 on, I don't know. I spent $280, I think.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But this is what you're looking for. So like you get into a stock, you're looking for some, like I have people that I follow, right?
Okay.
So what will happen is, when you're looking down through the chat, I don't like this one because Humble's got turned into just sheer craziness.
Okay.
So I don't even look at Humble's. I don't even look anymore. I'm on crypto right now. So like
Okay.
most people that are crypto will recommend another crypto, another company. They'll be like, "Hey, check out this company," right?
Mm,
Oh, here we
all right.
go. Solo X, right?
Yeah.
With Digibyte, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BitTorrent, right?
Hmm.
BitTorrent a couple months ago was all over the chat boards. Point zero 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 Safe Moon, point 0.000002.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy like a crap ton of it for like $6.
Okay.
And if Safe Moon gets hyped up enough, 30 years from now, it's at $30,000 a coin.
Hey, you bought it. Okay. Yeah.
You got FU money from one play that cost you $6. Like
Yeah.
I'll sit on something for my entire life.
Because I
Seriously,
know the end. Yeah.
to
You're not
spend
wrong though.
$6 and then get a 500,000% return on investment in 30, 40 years just because you bought something randomly. I mean, how often do you buy something and it just sits on the shelf and then it grows or possibly has the potential of growing into a brick of gold.
Man,
Nothing.
you can't. There's nothing
Stock,
you can do.
stock, real estate. I mean, this is investing is investing, but
Right.
you can't, if you're going to invest, the investment money has to be investment money, and then the trading money has to be trading money. So
Okay.
my day-to-day account, I
Uh,
hold about 85,000 in there.
okay.
It's my day-to-day account.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
pretty.
like, I watch the market through there. I have some humble in there that I've kind of, I try to day trade it, but I suck at it. And it's too expensive. So like, OTC, $6.95, per transaction.
I was gonna say, yeah, per transaction that
And
that adds up.
then you got your taxes on top of that being, whatever, 40,
Yeah,
50, 70% by the time Biden gets done with it.
exactly, because they steady chopping on it.
Yeah. So, oh, and can you see this?
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. We got masks. Look, I got, oh, you see it? Face masks.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, like if you're gonna rep something, I mean, Humble's Brian Foots made me a crap ton of money. Now it's unrealized gains because I haven't cashed out yet.
yeah.
So it's not money that I can consider that I made. But was
Right,
my
but
acc- was my account really high in February? It was disgusting.
yeah,
Okay. But it was not to that level where I would happily pay the government 60% of it
to cash it out, correct.
or 40% or whatever the god awful exchange tax rate's going to be. So
Yeah, because they want their 40%.
I'd I'd rather hold it and lose all of my money. That's how much
Mm.
I that's how much I dislike giving the government money.
Oh man, okay,
I think they're god awful. Like
yeah,
god
yeah,
awful. Okay. I was in the I worked under the government. My wife's doing it now. Like they're just absolutely god awful. And the
yeah,
president, I mean, it means absolutely nothing if you voted for anybody. Has
yeah,
nothing to do with your vote. It has to do with whoever the old ass person that's in office or voted in office across the states.
yeah,
There's a problem now is we can't get the right people voted into office because the right people are too young for
exactly.
anybody to
Yep,
understand the concept of putting these people in office because they have a different mindset than a
exactly.
55-year-old that has to wear diapers to bed. Like,
You never lied about that.
give me a statistic. That's a statistic I want to know. Out of Senate and Congress, how many people wear diapers to bed? I bet you it's at least 60%.
I was gonna say I was gonna give
Oh,
75.
yeah, 75. Nasty ass mother. Man, don't even get me started about politics. I'm not talking about that on here.
I
But
got
then
you.
so you go on a chat board and you
Okay.
find a play. Like you're looking, right? And
Yeah.
then what I did was I started building the network. So like I said, I built my Discord, right?
Okay.
And then this is my personal Discord. Occasionally people will send me tips like
Right.
money.
Right.
Like I made a guy 52,000 on a tip.
Oh man.
Like I was like, "Hey, buy this one. I'm buying it." And he bought in heavy and he spent like $300 and made like 56,000 like total.
Yeah.
So, and he, flipped me a couple bills. So like,
Yeah.
and then that this is something that you can do on your own whenever you're ready. So like
Yeah.
I have another Discord that I'm part of
Okay.
and I won't go into it just because, copyright and I don't know if they want to have their name out there, but there's a bunch of different Discords you can be a part of. And I got most of my Discord stuff from StockTwits. Okay.
Gotcha.
So this is one that I started a year ago. StockTwits was a lot different back then.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like a lot of people were a little more, I don't know, like people were more about giving information and less about just treating people like absolute garbage.
Right.
So StockTwits, I'm barely in there. I just go in there every once in a while just to see the hype, read about,
Right.
some of the BS that's going on and all the reverse split dilution, company CEOs garbage after 5 months talk that they do in there. So
Gotcha.
you just got to take it with a grain of salt. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But then you take from here, say you find, I don't know, say you find I'm gonna do DPWW just because I
Okay.
want to show you kind of what research looks like, right? So go to Google,
Okay.
DPWW, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is so year to date. Let's do 5 years. What's it showing you?
Hold on, let me pull it up.
Well, you can see it on the screen.
5 years. You
Look at the
got
stock price right here. See it?
oh damn. Okay.
You see it? What's this?
Yeah.
It looks like a sled ride.
14. Yeah.
Woo!
It dropped off and then 58 cents. Then now yeah.
5 cents, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone said DPWW. Okay, why not? Let's do 180 days at 15 minutes. This is back here. So we're talking, I bought at 0.002. Here it is right here. See this right here?
Uh-huh. Gotcha. Okay.
October, right? Popped. What is this? October 30th,
Mm-hmm.
22nd. Yep. This is what came out. So DPWW executes agreements to sell cultivation facilities, maintain cash flow during initial discussions of merger with Colorado licensee.
Mm.
Sounds like good news to me, right? So watch it pop up to about almost a penny, and then it literally bled all the way down to 0.0026.
Wow.
Oh no, 0.0035 is where it went down.
Bottom, yeah.
So DPWW, I bought it 0.005, which is half a penny. It shot up to 20 cents. Okay. You saw my, hold on. There's all the kiddos.
Uh,
Uh, remember this, right?
talk sliders.
Yeah, let's talk stocks. Let's talk investing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this is the like your numbers can be exact opposite of mine. Well, not the
Okay.
exact opposite, because then you wouldn't be making any money, but
Right.
yours can be, like mine.
Mhm.
But you don't, they don't have to be they don't have to be that huge. Do you see my screen or no?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Is it big? Is it the full screen or no?
Yeah, because I enlarged it on my phone too, so
Okay.
I didn't know. Uh,
So
yeah.
I mean, so DPWW, I bought it half a penny and sold it at 17 cents. And we're not talking about you know,
Yeah.
it was mainly like a hype thing where people were talking about premium weed. DPWW is like the only premium weed out there. You see my
Mm.
mouse, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
So, I mean, this is 3,300% return on investment. I made 60 G's on that. Now I
Okay.
sold.
Right.
I sold. I mean, now it's down to like 5 cents. I mean, now if I felt like this was a solid play,
Hmm.
I could buy back in
Right.
5 cents, right? Ride it up to 20 cents or ride it up to, if it's going to break that, what you, the game is, will the stock price break the all-time high?
Gotcha.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
it? Will the news, financials, hype, whatever, is it going to break the all-time high? Because if it's not, then you set a sell limit right underneath the high.
Mm.
And then you try figuring out if it's worth the return of investment.
Okay.
Because if you're going to buy something at 3 cents and sell it at 4.5 cents, you're going to have to buy a lot of shares
Hmm.
to make it worth it.
Exactly. Okay.
If you're flipping 5,000 shares, it ain't worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to. I got you. Yeah.
Okay. So you got to take, like, my return of investment is a couple thousand.
Hmm.
And it's not, I'm not saying that because it's just because my initial investment is so tiny that
Right.
it makes these numbers look, I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
And 60,000, some people would look at me and be like, some of these big time investors, Timothy
R-
Sykes, whatever. This is
Right.
probably, I mean, this is like it's about 4 months,
Okay. That's the shit. That's still not bad.
but I didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
That's
I tell my
you
wife
didn't do.
all the time, I'm like, what did I do today?
Yeah.
What? I mean, I went outside, I took the kiddo to school, I came home, I
Yeah.
threw a ball with my dogs for a minute. I
I
came
mean.
inside, I did some research on my phone that I was going to do anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
Um, yeah.
I was already going to be
Uh,
on my phone reading about my friends and Facebook, and why not read about something that I like doing?
right.
So,
And made 60,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
that I don't need.
That's that's a hell of that's not a bad day. Shit,
Yeah.
that's not
But
either way you
understand,
slice it.
yeah, but understand that the growth potential starts, it has to start somewhere. Last year, my average return was about $1,500.
Okay.
So this return of investment is from, like, I mean, I started, 2.5 years ago, and for about 6 months I just kind of dibble dabbled. I
Uh-huh.
I had stocks in Robinhood. I didn't really think about like the cash. Like when I sold stocks, I just
Uh-huh.
took the money out and went balling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I made fifteen
Yeah.
hundred bucks. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But
buy
then
I'm
as
gonna buy
more
something.
more and more as in tune, you started learning, I'm gonna go put this shit back and double that money, quadruple that money.
Well, no. I mean, then life happened. I met my wife. We we started focusing more on real estate
Right.
outside of investing.
Okay.
You know, I stepped away from. I went to school. The situation. Like I wasn't an investor. I was just kind of. I had some stocks here and there. I traded Tesla stock when it was $300.
Uh-huh.
So I had, at one point, I had 100 shares of Tesla, and I was really proud of that. And then it went up to $700, and I was extremely proud of that because I sold it.
Yeah.
And then, like, 2 weeks later, it went up to 1,000, and I was pissed.
Yeah.
And then it went up to like $1,600, and I was even more pissed.
I know, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
Cause that's what happened to me. I was
because I
like,
was stuck. Because I was stuck in Genius. Remember
yeah,
Genius?
yeah,
I was in
yeah,
I was in Genius Brands
yeah.
at $1, and I had a lot of shares, and then it
Okay.
shot up to $11, and then me and my buddy GJ, the dumbest thing I've ever done, watched that fucking stock bleed like
Oh
4 months, like
wow.
just waiting for that next pop. I mean, we lost
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars. And
Wow.
then
Okay.
I told myself I wasn't gonna. I mean, I had bought at $1, so like I had a lot of money invested. That's why it was so hard to watch that money. You know what I mean?
Just
Because
chip away like that.
when you have $200,000 of capital, stuck in a stock,
Yeah.
you can't use it anywhere else.
Right.
I mean, unless you're selling off shares, which if you're in a downtrend, like Humble shares, I wouldn't
Yeah.
sell Humble shares. You paid me to. Like
Yeah.
you'd have to give me millions of dollars because I see the return on investment.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't need the money. I made sure that I didn't need the money before I spent it. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, it's below $1.85 now,
Right.
but you're still talking. I mean, I think my return on investment, I have to calculate it, but still probably 1,000, maybe nine, 900,000, which I don't know any bank account that even does 5%, let alone 800%.
Exactly.
So,
To them, that's asinine. They're like, we're not doing that.
but you also have to look. I get a lot of questions, and I'm starting to get to the point where it's a little bit disrespectful, but
Okay.
I get a shit ton of questions about the current stock price.
And-
Like,
oh wow.
I try to tell people all the time, hey, look, don't don't worry so much about. I mean, if you're an investor, unless bad news has come out, unless CEO files for bankruptcy, I
Yeah.
mean, there's really not much anybody's really going to say to kick me out.
Yeah.
That's investing,
That's
and
that's what it's all about.
honestly, Bernard, if I can teach you anything about investing, learn what works for your life. So
Right.
I have stocks that I flip, and I use that money to go on vacation.
Right.
So I still use, you know what I mean? But I have 85,000 or 87,000, right? 87,000 in this account,
Uh, Right.
and I'm flipping stocks. My sister's an accountant, so when I sell a stock, I reach out to my sister. I ask her how much I'm going to pay in taxes,
Uh-huh.
and then I stuff that money somewhere else,
Right.
or I
Okay.
go ahead and send the IRS a check.
Okay.
It's just smart business.
Yeah, it is.
I don't need the money.
Right.
And the one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to wait around for a year. Stocks are plunging, and now you got a $30,000 bill that needs to be paid,
Yeah.
and you got to start pulling money out of stocks that you don't want to sell.
Exactly.
That is the worst feeling on the planet.
Exactly.
So
I know.
don't don't be that person.
Yeah. That's not. So that's why I put the budget in the place that we did, and we starting to go through that. So that way, it's like, where can we cut costs? Where can I
Yep.
start to make those small plays, and then eventually, it puts me in a position to do more, learn more. So
Yeah. Treat this like your biggest savings account. If you can say if you can save money by refinancing your car, if you can save money by dropping your insurance down that doesn't have a rental car, that doesn't have roadside assistance, that all the things that everybody doesn't need.
right,
It's a convenience thing. If you can bust all that out, drop your cell phone bill, drop your internet down to where it's not like top speeds,
right,
go out to eat maybe once a week, always eat
yeah,
at home, cut your
right,
grocery costs. Like I went out the other day and spent $106 in groceries. Okay.
uh,
That'll last us like 2 months as long as
yeah,
stuff doesn't go bad. So
right,
like produce, there's always a little more of a budget there because, strawberries and bananas don't last fucking 2 months, right?
Right.
But
Right.
meat, buy meat when it's on sale, bulk
Yeah.
up meat.
Hmm.
If it's chicken that's on sale, that's what we're eating. If it's
Right.
fucking turkey that's on sale, we're eating fucking turkey. Like
Yeah.
this,
Exactly.
live a life that's an investor's life. And an investor's life is not a ball out life.
Right.
Now, when me and my wife go on vacation, now that our accounts are to where they are,
Right.
we live a little more vibrant.
Right. I mean,
Well,
because
I mean,
you're supposed to.
yeah, I might go on vacation and spend 10 G's. I don't care.
Right.
Okay. But you have to build to that first.
Exactly.
So it's just the start. So, finding these companies, the last thing that I would do, here, let me get out of here, is, that scan I was telling you about?
So outside of Bittrex, you use Ameritrade too, right?
What is it?
Is it Bittrex? Bitrex?
Yeah,
Bitrex?
Bitrix.
Yeah, Bittrex.
Well, I use so different. I mean, different things.
For different, okay,
Yeah.
different platforms for different stock. Because that's what I'm doing. Because even like now, I so I have a TD around the corner, but it popped up because I had an E Trade. But what I'm going through is going out. I had E Trade, I have the Fidelity, and then this Bittrex shit. And then I just got that, and now Ameritrade TD. So now I've been working with that, and so I'm finna start utilizing that because that's been helping me on the back end and you know
Okay.
learning
Yeah,
more and
but
more.
so this is the last thing that I do when it comes to the research portion. Now,
Okay.
80% of my research is, getting into stock market, like getting into the stock twits, Reddit, Twitter, I mean, Facebook. There's a couple groups that I'm a part of that I think I invited you to.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Discord. I mean, and just talking to investors, people like me that are doing the same thing because, they're going to come across tips that I didn't get, and I'm going to come
Right.
across tips that they didn't get. You know,
Right.
my sister, if my sister's she's a dean of finance at a college, and she's talking about something or some kind of pay or I don't know company that came out that is going to start offering student loans and put Sally Mae out of business.
Correct.
Then it's my market. I'm going to share that info. I'm going to look around and see what this is first, and then
Correct.
if it's something that's feasible and seems like it's investable, then
Hmm.
who knows. But once I find one, I watch it for sometimes a month.
Okay.
Just kind of watch it. Like if you notice over here, I have a lot of stocks that I'm just kind of watching.
Gotcha. Okay.
OZSC, I mean, it's been on the downtrend since I sold it, and I sold it at like 40, I don't know, 40 something cents. I mean,
Mm.
it went up to 50 cents. Now it's 12 cents. So this
Wow.
could be one of those flip plays where I buy back in at 12 cents.
Hmm.
If it breaks that 50 cents barrier, maybe I sell it at 75 cents and make a really good return.
Definitely. Definitely would off that.
So, but when you have 80, when you have 85,000 in capital, it's a little bit different, making these plays. Right
Hmm.
now, you got to be a little more frugal about what you're doing.
Right.
If you're gonna take $20,000 and throw it in the market for 6 months, well, I would do a couple plays now, watch some stocks, watch them for a couple weeks, make a couple plays, you know,
Hmm.
slowly divvy it out to where you might spend that 20,000 in 8 months.
Got you.
And then you're slowly building that portfolio for different types of plays.
Right.
Maybe a
Right.
marijuana play, because end of this year, marijuana stocks, it's going to be a hot play again. So
Yeah.
when stuff starts getting legalized and more recreational use, and then once the big name companies get put out and they're blown up, then all the small name are going to come out.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, this company is trying to do this, and then the big name companies are going to buy out the small names that are getting too big.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have acquisitions that are going to send stock prices through the roof. I mean, it's a
Correct.
constant rotating circle. So just identify it with these types of scans. So
Yeah.
if you have no tips, you're just bored and you want to look for stocks, this is how you do it. Okay.
Okay.
I go into TD Ameritrade. It's called scan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you set all these different limits. So I actually sometimes will set lower limits.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean you're looking at 0.000, so pretty much 4 zeros, right?
Uh-huh.
So it looks like 0.001 is probably the smallest. Okay.
Okay.
Which that's probably a perfect buy right there.
Okay.
It's as low as you can get. So I do that, the volume. So I go anywhere from 2,000 all the way up to about 200 million almost. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
But that's just volume. That's just stocks being
Yeah.
traded.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
could still,
I got
if they're trading at 0.001 and they're just trading back and
yeah.
forth.
Yeah. That mini ticker. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
Yeah.
soaking it all in, I guess.
Yeah. Most of these companies, they got no financials. They got, maybe they got a website, but it's primarily people that are living in the basement at mommy's house or in the garage trying to find capital to create something that was an idea. That's
Okay.
it. And see if
Gotcha.
it sticks, you know?
Yeah.
So right here. So let's drag it. Actually. So here it is. So here is ACNI.
Okay.
Not really much going on, right?
Right.
If you go back, goes back to August last year.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
But somebody bought, or persons bought 20,000 shares of it today
okay.
and jumped the price up about 200%.
200. Okay.
Okay.
And I got you.
You understand what I'm pointing at? So like,
Yeah, I had to zoom in some more. I'm wearing glasses. I can't, I
well,
can't
no,
see.
it's so if these are the plays to build capital in your account.
Correct.
Okay. Some of these plays are going to come out as just flipping plays, and some of these plays are just going to be like, so if this is getting 200% attention, that
Yeah.
means whatever money you stick into it,
Mhm.
you might be able to assume that you're going to get a 200% ROI,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, And there's some that are, I mean, this is 650%. This one's got zero market cap, but 800,000 shares have been traded. Could be one buy,
Yeah. Right.
Could not be, So this is where it goes back and forth, where you find, these are how you find the ticker.
Okay.
Then you can go to places like, on here, stock twits, we saw ACNI doesn't even have a room,
And then okay.
CASG doesn't have a room either. I said, I mean, this is it's all. Then you go to Google, CASG stock. It brings up, okay, Canadian Aerospace Group or something. Okay.
Right.
For some odd reason, it's shooting up 650% today. And in order to buy, okay, you can buy with $200. Hold on. 0.0015. Yeah. You can buy 133,000 shares. 133, all the way down this page, right?
Yeah.
So 133,000 shares, put $200 in there. Maybe you get another 650%, 650% return on investment. What's a 650% return on investment on $200?
650. 13. 200 and 650. That'll be 13,000.
1,300.
1,300. Excuse me.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah. 1,300.
1,300 divided by 200 times 100. Yeah, 650. So
yep, 6.5. Yep.
So $1,300. Okay. So then feel it out. Let's play the number game. Get the calculator out for a minute. I always get the calculator for a minute. You got a calculator?
Yeah, I got one.
Let's do some calculations. Okay.
All right.
$1,300. Okay. You put that, say you put $250 into 4 other companies. Okay. And each one of those, say one gives you a -100, one gives you 400%. One shoots out through the roof and gives you 2,000%.
Okay.
So total, you got what? 2,000, 2,400 minus 100, 2,300. So take 1,300. What do you think 2,300% of 1,300 is?
That's 29,000. Well, take that back.
Yeah.
It's a little over. Yeah.
Yeah. About 28.6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then you take 28.6 divided by $250.
114.
So you take and invest in 114 different companies. You starting to make sense?
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
All the companies are your plays. We're not talking about Joe Schmo's play. We're not talking about I'm not putting money into a company that I don't feel is worthy of it.
Right.
But I'm not drawing money out of the company until they go bankrupt. I wouldn't draw $250 out of any company unless they prove to me that they're going bankrupt. It's
Yeah.
$250.
Yeah.
Or until I get to my return of investment
Gotcha.
where
Okay.
I want to be. Mine
Right.
is 3,000%.
3,000
Okay.
ROI.
Unless I find out that a company's going to start, like they start releasing bad financials,
Uh-huh.
CEO gets fired, they're in a bunch of different lawsuits,
Right.
right? Those are times where, okay, well, if I've made money, like a decent amount of money,
Okay.
then I'll sell off my shares. But
Gotcha.
I in the 2.5 years that I've been trading, I haven't picked one of those.
Mm.
I
Okay.
mean, I've only have 2.5 years of experience. I'm not some of these big names. So, but I do this consistently.
Okay.
But now my number is bigger. So, like, as your capital grows, then, instead of dumping $250 and getting 133,000 shares,
Right.
I dump $6,000 into it and I get millions of shares.
Mm.
So then if my return on investment's 200%, I'm making 20 G's versus $200.
That
It's
makes a
just
big,
it's just math. It's just
yeah,
you
simple
just have to
math.
you have to stair step up,
Yeah.
and you just have to make sure before you put any money into a company that your mind is made up that it's a for sure thing.
Yeah.
Because if your mind's not made up, all these chat rooms are gonna do is like talk you out of
Yeah.
all your plays.
Yeah.
And if I would have listened to anybody back in the day when they were dogging DPWW, when it went to 2 cents, and they were like, this Colorado stock ain't shit. And then it went
Yeah.
all the way back down. It actually went below what I paid for it, I think.
Okay.
Went to like 0.003. And then like 3 days shot up to 20 cents. And the chat room on StockTwits
Uh-huh.
had 412 people on it.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, I couldn't there was no news coming out about it. It just the stock price just people just kept buying the shit. I don't know. So
Yeah.
sometimes you get lucky and that stuff just happens.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if I had 2 million shares of it?
Yeah. At
So
that time,
but I'll say I also don't I'm consistent across the board, right?
right.
So I never play that game of like guessing what if I had, what if,
Yeah.
because I always buy consistent amounts of each.
Right.
If the stock price is here, I'm buying 500,000 shares. If it jumps and then it declines, I'm going to find that bottom. I'm going to buy if it goes low enough, I might buy another 500,000 and make it 1 million. Or I might
Right.
buy the HBRM when it did the spike. As
Uh-huh.
soon as it spiked and went down, as soon as it went down, I bought 2.5 million shares just
Mm.
because it's cheap.
Exactly.
But I see a really good return on investment. So every time it goes up and it goes down, that means that people are looking at it. I'm buying.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So questions.
Yeah.
I talked a ton, man, but I just wanted to get as much information as possible,
No, listen, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot, because it's like spread it out versus, my whole thought process is you're gonna take 20, just dump it all into, just buy out massively. But being able to do your homework. And the first thing is buying the first one, which I'm thinking like buying into the bigger corporations, but
The
the
only
real
reason I'll tell you the biggest reason you don't do that, everyone talks about, let me go ahead and do this one. Everyone talks about diversifying your portfolio, right?
right,
But that's also goes with the concept of not putting all your eggs in one basket. Okay.
correct. Yeah.
All these different companies, they have something. DPWW is a premium cannabis. It's like the only premium cannabis in the US.
Uh-huh.
So if federal legal goes national and they this will be a play that that's why it's still on my watch list.
Right.
I mean, it's at 5 cents. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If when these other plays get to a point and I sell off, who knows? My buy might be, 2 million shares at 5 cents, and I might dump a ton of money into this company.
Hmm.
But it's all the stock does
Yeah.
this, right?
Gotcha.
And the
Okay.
biggest one I'll tell you is OZSC. OZSC, come on. You knew all about it. I bought it for $820 and it shot up. I got 82,000 shares of it. I bought really small
Hmm.
and it made me a crap ton of money because it went up to like almost 50 cents. So,
Yeah. Okay.
and it was because the company last year was a surgical company. They did something with making gloves. And my Jasmine's dad, he does, he does trading as well. Or he does like,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I think he does OTC stocks as well. But
Okay.
he had said something about this company and them being really familiar. He's like, you got to invest in it. I'm hearing a lot about it. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I just 82,000 shares, look, I
Yeah.
saw a couple things online that I liked. I was like, okay, COVID play, awesome. Did
Okay.
nothing, did nothing but in the tank, right? But I
Okay.
spent $820. It's holding on to it for 5 years. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Held on to it to January, and
Uh-huh.
they changed their profile from being a surgical company to a green energy company, and got all this hype about the Biden administration, and it shot it up to 50 cents.
Wow.
Yeah. So if I was consistent last year in what I'm doing now, I would have 2 million shares of this company. It shot up to 40 cents. I would have sold and made myself a lot of effing money. So
Yeah.
it's just, you start something, they say be consistent and understand that this is probably 2.5 years, 3 years out.
Right.
This
Yeah.
if you're looking at comfort, financial
Hmm.
portfolio growth, that kind of thing. And
Right.
I mean, you got to go through a couple storms, you got to go through a couple, heartaches.
A hard lot. Yeah.
There's going to be some hard months of, I mean, I lost worst loss I ever took. I lost 103,000 in one morning, but I didn't lose it. It's unrealized gains, right?
Okay.
But
Okay.
it
Uh,
it had something that got hyped. It
yeah.
shot up. I wasn't ready to sell because, I mean, I didn't get greedy, but I see something bigger, and I'm not paying the government 60%. Like,
Yeah.
can't tell. Let me get off. Let me get off where you see I'm not paying the government 60%. Like, can't tell you how many times. Like, I will lose every dime of my money. I'm not paying the government 50%.
I got you.
God.
Okay. Got you.
So
100%. I understand that. Feel you on that.
I would rather take home 600,000 than 2 million, as long as I am not paying the government anything more than 20%. My
Got
wife
you.
gets on me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
she's
that,
like, "Why don't you just sell it? Make us." I'm like, she's like, "All right." She understands. I
I,
mean,
yeah. I'm not giving them that percentage.
I am not a fan. So,
Yeah.
but you want to diversify. You want to have different plays and different, some pharmaceutical plays, some marijuana plays. Spread it out because some months all of them are going to be doing really really great. Your portfolio
Right.
is going to look really great. And if you're flipping, because at the beginning, that's what you have to do. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you got 20 G's just sitting there ready to throw in the market.
Not quite 20,
That's what I'm
but
saying. I mean,
yeah, I got what
but
you're
if you
saying.
got say you got five, right? If you
Right.
got five that you can comfortably spread into the market,
Yeah.
then there's nothing wrong with finding some long plays. But
Yeah.
I would challenge you to get more educated about, kind of the
What's
stuff. Yeah, have a couple years of experience before you start going for those really long plays.
right?
Now, Humble, I mean, you can either
Yeah.
take my advice for it or,
Oh
move
yeah,
on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Humble
uh,
is one that I like
yeah, yeah.
all day.
Listen, I'm already tapped into them, so
That's what I'm saying.
that's
So,
yeah,
and crypto, and
yeah,
crypto, that's a market that I recommend everybody get into just because I mean I bought Digibyte at 0.0003
yeah,
and I bought a lot of it.
and
And it's just sitting in my safe on a USB drive on a ledger.
mhm.
So I
That's
I don't I don't trade crypto. I don't, I'm not trying to flip it. I bought crypto and I'll continue to buy crypto
right.
as it continues to go up.
Yeah, that's
Just
what I
with
did with Doggy Coin or
yeah,
Dogecoin. Yeah,
Dogecoin.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like I said, they're very smart plays. I see $100, like that's where my sell limit would be for Digibyte. And
yeah,
if it takes 40 years to get there, it takes 40 years to get there. You know, when I turn 60 and I'm about to like fully retire and I say I don't know, say me and my wife want to buy a house in France, maybe I'll pull this ledger out, plug it up, transfer some of my Digibyte in and,
you
use
got
it
the rip.
to purchase something.
Yeah, yeah,
It's money that's mine. Plus, even with diversifying the portfolio, you need to make sure, hey, look, you know, when it comes to assets, yourself, things that we can talk about more on another level, but like,
right,
the budgeting portion, the paying off all debt, getting a life insurance policy in place, figuring out retirement. Like if you're going to work for yourself and be an investor, you want to have a platform that's going to give you a guaranteed retirement because nothing in the stock market's guaranteed,
guaranteed. Right,
nothing.
right.
But if you have an IUL through a life insurance policy, there are some guarantees that they can give you
Okay.
because I mean if 50 years of historicals can give you kind of a comfort. I
Okay.
mean, if the US does, anywhere close to the last 50 years, then you can be set for a pretty comfortable retirement if you start saving now. So,
Yeah.
but it's just using all these different engines to get what you need. I mean, I use Flip stuff now to
Hmm.
pay everything.
Right.
And now
Yeah.
I still have a monthly income because I'm retired, right?
Right.
Now my pension is like it's going into I'm going into it's going into real estate right now, but
Uh,
it's a different aspect of my portfolio.
right.
And I'm using that residual to make more residual.
Right.
So say you save up 150, say you get $150,000 in an account, right?
Hmm.
Then you don't look at paying off your bills. That should not be your first mindset when it comes to bills. Okay.
Right.
You're gonna pay a ton of interest, right? Okay.
Hmm.
Everybody's gonna pay interest.
Exactly.
Pay the bare minimum on your bills until you start growing an investment account that pays for your bills.
Okay. Yeah. I
I'm
got
not okay. $100. Okay,
you. Right.
it's the last thing I'll say, and then we're gonna rely, right? $100. And this is mindset. Okay, what's 600% of $100?
600.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's 600.
Yeah.
You're right, $600. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's like small time stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are sure about yourself, this is where the mindset takes it, right? I am sure about all my plays. So I am 100% certain that if I put $100 into something, that I'm probably going to get out a $3,000 investment, 3,000% investment.
Because of
Any $100 that I put in them, I'm telling you, because I am certain I don't just throw money in there. There's people that do it. And there's plays of mine that do decline. There's plays right now that are negative 200%. Okay. But they're just waiting for that turn up, right?
yeah,
I'm telling you. It's all just and it's understanding that.
yeah,
I mean, you take it from Warren Buffett, probably the smartest man when it comes to investing, right? Brooks, what Berkshire Hathaway,
by the
his
way,
company trades for $400,000 a share.
yeah,
$400,000 a share. It was
that's shit.
It was $150,000 a share 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay,
and 400K a share.
what he says, and you have to break it down bit by bit, right?
Right.
The stock market is the impatient
Go ahead. I'm listening.
selling to the patient.
Impatient selling to the patient. Okay.
Okay. Big picture of the stock market. Okay. In order for you to sell your stock, somebody has to buy it.
Yeah.
If you are investing in yourself and the way that your life is taking, right?
Yeah.
And you are 100% like I am certain of my life, the decisions I make in my life, the real estate companies I use, the groceries that I buy,
Yeah.
the company, if I'm going to use Facebook or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your life is your investment. Okay. So you are investing in your life and you are certain you can turn a lot, if you are patient in everything, these plays, as long as they don't go bankrupt or bring out bad financials or any of these things that disqualify a business from the OTC market, all you're waiting for is that. And all you need to do is imagine a bunch of people behind the scenes that you already vetted. I already checked Brian Foot out on Humble. I know he's a man that doesn't have a wife, no kids, like works 7 days a week, probably sleeps out of the office.
Uh-huh.
And I used to be that guy.
Yeah.
So I know what I can accomplish with no wife, no kids. You imagine you imagine me right now, no wife, no children, in the stock market.
Yeah, you'd be hell on wheels.
I'd be disgusting with him. I'd be the dumbest person on the planet. The family portion of it is what humbles me.
Yeah.
Because instead of thinking about just myself and the fucking Ferrari that could be sitting in the driveway,
Right.
I'm thinking about the generational wealth that I'm going to leave for my children and my children's children. Can you imagine? I got 50 million chilling.
Yeah.
My kids ain't gotta pay for a fucking house. Grandpa's trust, and we just teach our kids and our grandkids what it means to really grow wealth and live a life outside of fucking work. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want anybody working. Hey, daddy, what we doing? We're going to the beach. We're going to Hawaii. We're going to Europe. We're going to grandma's house.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Dad? I'm not going to work.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Don't have
So
to.
big dreams, yeah. But do I have, the work ethic and the mindset to say, hey, look, instead of watching Netflix, I'm gonna read a book.
Yeah.
Right now it's 11 o'clock. I don't have anything I need to do.
Right.
I make a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
I don't need to start a financial company.
Yeah.
And I also don't need to be in Discord. I also don't need to be in the chat boards. And investments is important to me, but I don't need to spread the wealth. I don't
Yeah.
need to spread my word to anybody else. But I want something that my children can have. If I start a financial company from the ground up and it's a culture of really amazing people that aren't trying to just steal people's money all the damn time,
Yeah.
then I can go to sleep happy that, hey, look, my children go to school. Hey, what's your daddy do? Well, he owns his own company. He
Yeah.
he was the founder of A Financial.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them. Come on.
Yeah.
Dreams
Yeah.
start somewhere.
Yeah.
LeBron James, come on.
Yeah.
You're telling me he didn't come out of his mom's vagina? He didn't wear diapers. Come on.
Yeah.
He didn't piss his bed when he was a kid.
Right. Right.
Everybody does it. People just do
Yeah.
it at different rates. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, you find your niche and be a effing expert about it. And if it's investing, I mean, we can keep doing these calls, man. But I tell you what, I'm I'm gonna make sure that I am an expert at this,
Yeah.
making 300 or 3,000% return on investment. That's gonna be my, if I can say anything about like, if you could have all your picks, right? Now I'm probably going to have some that 5 years from now go bankrupt and I, have to pull down my average, right?
Hmm.
But if I can say that my average for the year is 300% return on investment, okay? What do you think I can do with 2 million in capital?
That goes a lot. You put it back into yourself, your family,
But that's
vacation.
that's not where once you have historicals, then you make money off yourself.
Yeah.
I have 2.5 years of experience. I won't tell anybody. I wouldn't tell anybody a year ago about anything.
Right.
Now I have historicals. I have trades. I have things that I've done over the last couple years where I can tell somebody and prove on through slideshow,
Right.
these are the things that
This
I'm
is.
doing to make my portfolio go here.
Yeah.
This is how everybody started. This is how you can start. You get
Healthy in all
historical,
metrics.
you get historicals, and then you show those historicals to the people around you. You start a company, you start managing everybody's portfolios. Now that's your business. And then you teach somebody else how to do the business. Your son, daughter,
Yeah.
brother, sister, whatever.
Right.
So it's like spreading the wealth. Why would I not? Like my biggest thing with talking to family, it's always a really hard conversation financially, right?
Right.
Family is always the toughest because you're talking to them and they always doubt what you're saying. I don't know why.
You never lied about that. Yeah.
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 Like, hey, mom, I think you should, do this retirement. This is the great plan. Oh, stick with what I got,
Yeah.
No, no. Like
Yeah.
that is not how generational wealth has started.
Yeah.
You look at I talk about it all the time. Tommy Hilfiger, the Kardashians,
Hmm.
half of them are idiots, right?
Yeah.
All they do is help each other go to the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
And then you see random people sometimes that go do podcasts and then you see them on ESPN because they got recruited. What do you think happens with financial people? People on YouTube, people on Discord, people on Stock Twits, these people that are throwing out tips. Then they start selling their tips. Then their tips start making investment companies a shit ton of fucking money. And then these investment companies start investing in you. Hey, will you put our banner at the bottom of your YouTube page so that anybody that subscribes, it says BW Investment Group partnered with BW Investment Group. Then you make $100 a month off just putting a thing on your screen. I'm telling you, it is all, once Jasmine gets out of the military, it is going to be a free for all for me and Jasmine. Just, if anybody wants to meet us at the top, we're going to be there. I promise you.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a building.
A wealth of knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be flipping houses. We're probably going to be involved in real estate. We're going to be involved in investments. Me and a buddy of mine are going to start a Herbalife tea and aloe boot camp shop. We've already looked at the plans. Like my plans are already 3 years. Our vacations are already planned for 3 years. Like it's just kind of the adaptation that needs to happen over time. And that the one way to really, really get there is to read. Like, I don't know if you read now. Like, if it's mainly on your cell phone, I would refrain from doing that. Get a book. Get a book. Take your phone. Leave it at home. Take Vanessa down to the pier. You know, have her lay across your lap and just read a book.
Yeah.
Like, being an investor is about taking that, because everybody deserves it.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to work in McDonald's all day long and come home and, just be tired all the damn time. Like, you got to live your life. And if finance is not, it's not everything. Just take small chunks at first and then work your way up to big chunks and
grow from there.
Yes, sir. What you got? Questions, comments?
So with the $200 theory that you created, that was just like something that you just kind of like thought of, like just as a testing piece, or
over time, like, I used to buy 100. I used to buy, actually, we started, me and my buddy, well, I won't say his name, but me and a buddy of mine that day trades. He was talking about like buying 1,000 shares. Like, we weren't looking at OTC stocks back then. We were in Robinhood. So we're on NASDAQ.
Yeah.
So most of the stocks on there, you have to be at $4 to get listed. Now, some of them have been, declining in their way down there, but most stocks on NASDAQ are $3-4. So buying 1,000 shares, back then, that was a huge deal.
Yeah.
So like, we were talking about buying 1,000 shares, and then we got to the point where our accounts grew to the point where we were buying 10,000. I was like, the thing just came on again. They're yelling at me. I just exited out of it. But we got to a point where we were buying 10,000 shares. And then the thing with Robinhood happened, and people were questioning, even having an account in there. I was already kind of in the middle of merging some money that we had into a TD Ameritrade account.
Okay.
So I took, $2,500 and put it into a TD Ameritrade account. I still had my Robinhood account. So like, it was like moving a little bit, but it wasn't, and there wasn't really much money in there. It was like $1,800, I think. So I got my TD Ameritrade set up. And when I got my TD Ameritrade set up, that's when I could start investing in OTC stocks, penny stocks.
Okay.
So like, it wasn't until like July of last year where I actually switched my account I switched my account in like November, Robinhood. And I always had it. I just didn't want to pull money out. I just put more money into a TD Ameritrade account. I only had $2,500 in there, and the account grew to like 25 G's from June to December. Just, I bought little chunks,
Yeah.
buying and selling. And then we just started calling it the $200 theory. Like,
Oh shit.
I mean, put a
Okay.
name on it. I mean, I could probably copyright it, patent it. It's my idea, motherfuckers. But
Yeah.
$200 theory is buying 200 million shares at fractional pennies. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
and then if it moves, say it moves 2 fractions of a penny, you just made 100% investment.
Yeah.
If you buy at 0.0001 and it goes to 0.0003, that's a 200% investment.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it'd be 300% ROI, but it'd be
Right.
200% more
100%.
than your $100 or whatever you spend in it. So if you
Correct.
spent $200, you make $600.
Yeah.
And all you do is do that a couple times,
Mhm.
build your account up, and then start building and then start doing it at a bigger level.
Okay. I
So
got you.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just people that understand math and I don't know, just kind of the generalists of the stock market. Then it kind of
Yeah.
just I don't know, just it's like watching the Matrix. Some people understand it, some people don't.
Yeah. And that's my thing. Like, I always been pretty good with math and stuff like that. And sometimes I get that brain cramp. I just get fried because
Yeah,
my mindset is making the transition of working a corporate job to entrepreneurship and then being able to be growing into the investment portfolio and investing. And
that's
that's that.
well, and this is all about influences in life. So
Yeah.
you will go through a transition. I went through a transition. My friends that I know that I look up to still today went through a transition. Uh, reading was something that man, when I got out of the military, I didn't want to read a book. What?
Yeah.
Read a book?
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that in college.
Yeah.
But now it's
But
ultimately it's finding what your niche is.
right.
Show you mine is like I mean, I'm reading the baby manual right now. But
Yeah.
you know how that goes.
Yeah.
But it's written
You're not wrong.
it's written by a guy
Uh-huh.
and it's hysterical. It talks about the baby like it would a car. So it
Oh
doesn't
wow.
it doesn't actually say anything towards like a baby. It's talking about the when it talks about the bowel movements, it talks about the functioning of the mechanics inside of the machine, right?
Yeah.
It's just a
That's
it's
what,
just a funny manual. It's hysterical.
right.
But
Okay.
it also is the way that my mind, like I have that kind of sense of humor.
Right.
So it feeds it feeds me. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
you
it
ever
does.
have you ever sat down have you ever sat down in a room and really sat and been like, why the fuck are we talking about what we're talking about? This is the dumbest conversation I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I have.
How often do you think about that?
Not often.
Not often at all.
Yeah.
Why?
Because usually I try not to be in those environments.
There you go. It's the same thing with everything. Okay. Food. Okay. If you're
Yeah.
eating McDonald's every fucking day, how's it going to make you feel?
Like shit.
Like shit. So you
Yeah.
only go there every once in a
All right.
while, right? It's with everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody does it. But you just have to be able to use that market to your advantage.
Right.
I'm not using it. I'm not stealing money from anybody. I'm trying to predict the future.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm the best at it.
Right.
I still make tons of mistakes. I'm human, but
Yeah.
now that my investment account has grown to where it's at, I I don't work. Like I haven't worked since March of 2018. So
Right.
being able to be at home for all the COVID stuff. So when
Right.
when our son was out of elementary school for the whole year,
Mhm.
I was able to, homeschool him at home, go do
Yeah.
fun things together, still go on vacation as a family,
Right.
buy a new house. I mean, these are things that we did, and I'm not working. Nobody's telling me
Right.
what to do.
Right.
So,
You're right.
but like I said, I want it for you. It's just small chunks.
Yeah.
Take it slow, learn as much as you can now. If you have any questions, you're on the Discord, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. And that's my
So,
thing is,
yeah.
because since I have a different outlook on it from where I started or what I used to do and how I used to do it.
Mhm.
Because I was one of the guys. I think it might have been maybe Josh. He was like, I'm used to just going in and buying, and then as soon as I sell it, just a quick flip, it shoots way up, and
Yeah.
then I'm sitting there mad as hell. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was me. I was that guy. So I wasted a lot of money, but at the same time, I have people, but nobody really took the time to break it down and give me the whole. Is like you have to start where you have to start from. You know what I'm saying? It starts with your thinking,
Yeah.
because we think what I'm saying. Society bases on the next quick flip, but you know what I'm saying. It's like the patience with it. That's what you have. The main thing you have to do.
Yeah. And the other thing in the OTC market is risk. There's gonna be a lot
Yeah.
of risk. There's a lot of risk associated with OTC that's not associated with NASDAQ.
Right.
Now, there still is a lot of risk in NASDAQ because companies that get listed in NASDAQ are not, I mean, it's not that they're guaranteed.
Right.
It's that, they did really good for a little while and, maybe like Blockbuster. Look,
Right.
Hertz. Look at AMC for a little while. Look at, all this brick and mortar that's starting to get,
Yeah.
stock prices
Yeah.
starting to plunge. So,
Yeah. It is.
all these things are not gimmies.
Yeah.
And anybody that tells you that it's not risky, their way is the only way, or do it this way and you'll make 100K.
Yeah.
They're just feeding you a line of bull. So
Exactly.
my
Exactly.
like I said, my intention here, I saw a buddy of mine start a podcast about the Orioles.
Hmm.
He's a huge fan, and he just wanted to do it because he likes to talk about the Orioles, and his wife doesn't like to talk about the Orioles. You know how it is, man. When you're married,
Yeah.
who you got to talk.
Yeah.
That's why I started doing this.
Okay.
You understand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
wife, just ask her. My wife, man, I just see the look on her face when I start talking about stocks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna take a picture of it one time. I'll put it on Stock Twits for all you guys to see it. I'm like, baby, if I'm not talking to you, who am I gonna talk to? Like, I got
Right.
so many guys I can call on the phone, and like now that I don't work. Like,
Right.
so I
Yeah.
am home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
we live up
Yeah.
north. I'm not gonna say where
Yeah.
because it's going on YouTube, but
Yeah.
we live up north and there ain't much to do right now. And
Yeah.
when everybody's working and all the kiddos are in school, my wife's at work included, who am I gonna talk to? Myself? Hey Odie Bear. Otis, let me talk to you for a minute, buddy.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not even here. They're gone somewhere else.
The dogs done left her. So
Yeah. Talking about stocks, they run out.
here you go, talk about money again.
Yeah. But no, man, that's the truth. I mean, it's you want to adapt. Like people talk about, you don't want to do something that feels like going to work, right?
Yeah.
So do something that doesn't feel like going to work.
Effortless.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's as
That's
simple as I can get it to you.
yeah, that's real.
There's
You never
somebody
lie.
out there. You could literally tape, I don't know, you cooking meals and do your own little cooking thing. And there is somebody out there that does not know the information that you know. Somebody. And
Yeah.
like you said before, you have somebody out there, like there's somebody that is going to take the time to, like, you're going to be that somebody for somebody else.
Right.
Or when you take the time to like talk about what you did, because the $200 strategy, it might not work for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yours might be
Right.
a called the $1,000 flip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Right.
But it's just you take all this different thing. I will take information from just about anybody. Okay.
Yeah.
because it's my choice whether to take that as a, like take that as a good thing, or take it and really believe it, or
Right.
take it and say, yeah, right. Right.
Yeah. It's the your filter system.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the same. It's in business, it's in church, it's in life. Sometimes the wife will say something and I'll be like, should I say something back or just,
Yeah. Just process it and be like, well, I'll just hold on to it for just a little while. Yeah,
it's a,
I'm like that.
it's the
Yeah.
same, it's the same thing in the stock market, buddy. News is going to come out and you just got to be like, you know,
Yeah.
because all the articles, it's written by a person. I mean, it's written by somebody else that has their own opinions based off of the same information that you have.
Right.
So unless it's the CEO of Humble saying, "Hey guys, you might want to sell all your shares,"
Yeah. Yeah.
there's probably not much news that's going to change my for sure mind. Like, unless it's bad news, like
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
financials. Like
Mm-hmm.
I drill this home, but like I want everybody to think about this because you see stocks do. I mean, they do all the time, and then news comes out, and it's like, or possible news is coming out of they're releasing an app, and then this it skyrockets, and everyone's like,
Right.
oh yeah, it's gonna go to the moon, right?
Right.
Moon dance goes up to like $7, and then it shoots right back down to where it was before. And all
Mm-hmm.
us investors are sitting there like, I mean, I knew it was gonna dip.
Right.
I wasn't expecting $8 right now, and I'm still
Yeah.
not gonna sell because I'm not
Yeah.
giving 50% to the government.
Exactly.
So it's just,
Exactly.
and then you watch it climb up, and it might shoot up again, shoot back down.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's doing like
Climate. Yep.
month over month, right?
Yeah.
We're a little bit higher this month, then we're okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Definitely. Definitely. So I really appreciate it. I gotta it's almost 12:30. I really appreciate that because like I say it is the information I'm getting is transitioning my mind on a whole different plateau about a lot of stuff. It's just giving me a different outlook because we have the parallel destiny, but both of us getting to 9 is you might do 8 plus 1 and I got 3 plus 6. But at the end, it's the overall. It's like so now I've obtained a lot you taught me a lot, my friend. I really appreciate that.
appreciate
And
it, man.
and I really appreciate that. And I'm gonna use that and take everything I can and see and go from there. We will be having those calls and we'll be on those vacations and everything from there.
Oh yeah, you
And
know it, man. Well, I do. So if you, there's going to be coming through. There's going to be a lot. So let me. You see my screen?
uh-huh.
So this is where open. You see the full screen?
Yeah.
So everything, and I'll send you this link.
Okay.
But and then I'm gonna end up posting this video on there. But everything, everything's knowledge. So like if this is knowledge that in your future, you come across somebody that's like, hey, I just want to learn, basic charting, or hey, I want to learn about what you learned, say
Right.
Vanessa or whoever, then definitely pass the word along. So
Of course. it,
I'm not,
it, and the
I'm
same thing with okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no good.
Yeah, the same thing because I'm at the point now where I have to branch that information off to her as well, to understand that, so she can grow and be, because we have to be at least on the same wavelength. Because if not, then it's going to grow us in two separate directions. So at least ramping her up because that's going to be around my 24/7.
Yeah,
So having that same mindset, being on the same page, so that's where it gives me an opportunity to get my practice and learn more about it, being able to teach it.
yes sir.